goes. All right. So, as I say, I'm bonniek-feldenkrais, and I'm the creator of Touch to Inform. When I came, I was a massage therapist in Connecticut and New York State. And when I came to Florida, I started teaching seminars, and I started thinking, what's my touch different? How is my touch different? What am I doing that's different than anybody else? And so that's when I came up with the phrase touch to inform, because to touch, there's many different ways to touch, but to touch in a way that informs you and informs your nervous system and changes everywhere. That's another approach. That's another attention. And I'd like to give you some of that experience, as well as other ideas that can break, well, how to look at patterns and how we can break some of those patterns. So as we're sitting here now, one of the key things of Feldenkrais is to be aware. But one of my big things these days is this idea of neuromuscular skeletal system. Okay, so we have the muscular system, we have the nervous system, we have a skeletal system, and they like to think of it combining all three things, but most people still think of muscular, especially in the massage world and especially in exercise world. You think of muscles. So the reality is that the muscles don't work without the nervous system, right? So it is the nervous system. Now, when you're born, the idea is that, at least according to Feldenkrais, and according to, if you think about it, a child comes out of the womb, and how does it figure out how to do things? How does it figure out how to roll over, sit up, stand up, and do what we do today? What is the mechanism for that? And so Feldenkrais thought, okay, there's got to be a map in there, right? To direct the muscles to do certain things, to direct my muscles to talk to you with my hands. So any which way, we develop a pattern, right? So, but we develop it according to his idea by functional movement. So to him, the brain map starts with the fact that our first action, to eat, is to suck, is to use our lips. So the very first plant in the map, so to speak, are your lips and your tongue, and any of those mechanisms that bring that food inward. Then we might see something that's different or blah, 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 blah. But then we notice that we have hands, and we start to move the fingers, and then we bring the fingers together, or we reach for something. That's a functional movement that again increases the image of a hand in your brain's map. So now we have a mouth and we have hands. And then we have to develop our arms and our torso and our legs before we can stand. So that is how I operate, is from this theory that we build the map as young kids up to 2 years old. We start building patterns that work efficiently for us. And then we start, but because we're kids and because we have no intention, or no one's telling us to stand up straight and do it this way or do it that way, we are constantly open to new possibilities. So Feldenkrais's idea was that after 8 or 10, when we stop exploring our movements, we stay stuck in our patterns. And then there we repeat, repeat, repeat. And patterns are great. They brush our teeth. They get us up in the morning. They get us a drink of water, a cup of coffee. But then if we sit like this all day, and ultimately that's going to affect something else, that's going to give wear and tear if we can't get out of the pattern. So any pattern is good as long as we also know how to get out of